Welcome to Masters of Product Management, a show that gives you real-world techniques and cutting-edge strategies to learn, apply, and succeed in product management. Now, here's the master himself, Stephen Haines.
Most of you know that I deliver product management training workshops through my firm, Sequent Learning Networks. And it probably wouldn't surprise you, we spend a lot of time talking about customers. So the way I see it, and I am sure I am not the only one, our value as product people is built on our understanding of customer needs so that we can create and improve the products that make their lives better. And also to make sure that we're putting our money where our mouth is, making sure that we're putting our product investment money into the right buckets. I got to tell you, though, you may not disagree with what I said. You could just go, duh, of course. Well, but the product people I talk to can't necessarily fully validate the customer needs that they actually talk about. And as an example, I was just presenting the findings of a product management organizational diagnostic to a leadership team at a pretty big company. And it was acknowledged by those leaders that the product managers were not spending enough time with customers. So I got to ask you, have you ever, as a person, as a customer of some company, the consumer of a product, have you ever encountered a situation where you used a product and you just sort of found out, it's just not doing what I wanted to do. It's too hard to use. And I've actually complained. I've said things like, nobody ever asks me what I want, or nobody ever finds out or tries to find out whether or not what I purchased actually hit the mark. And I recently bought a new flat screen television, and trying to get the user interface to work, to try to figure out what's going on. And, you have to actually be a tech whiz to go find the manual, which you have to read. And it's not very intuitive. And I'm thinking, I keep on reading about all these product people who are working on user interfaces and user experience, and I keep having bad experiences. I just got a new Bluetooth headset for my phone, so I don't have to have a wire when I'm at the gym. Took me forever to figure out even where the on-off button was, or how to actually take a call, or even in our SaaS-based CRM application in the office. So to me, it just seems like there's a lot of guessing going on by product managers and developers, or bosses even. But even more, I was talking to another business leader lately who was defending his position of not spending a lot of time with customers. And he said, well, Steve Jobs said that customers don't know what they want, and we have to just create the things that they will want. Well, so I got to be fair, and maybe yes. Sure, customers may not know what they don't know, and they can't necessarily express what they need. So in my workshops, I ask the product managers to talk about how they may characterize a customer, who they are, what they do, or what motivates them. And as I said, they generally fall short. They don't have the data. They get input from sales. They get it from marketing. They get what they think is right because they think that they're walking in the customer's shoes. And I keep on thinking about when I was a kid, you play telephone and one person tells another and another tells another, and something just gets lost in translation. So I want to make a point. There's a story told to me a couple of years ago by a newer product manager, and she was involved with construction adhesives and caulks. So she told me that she went to visit a job site and was talking to a worker. I think he was a painter and some other person on the site. Anyway, so she was observing him applying some compound to the joints around these windows, and then he was standing around and waiting for about an hour. And as she was having this very casual conversation, she asked why he just didn't start the painting. I guess it was incredulous to her that he was standing around doing nothing for an hour. And he said he had to wait an hour for the caulk to set so he could start up again. He didn't say, wow, I wish this stuff would dry faster so I could get my work done. And the reason is it just wasn't in his mindset. So she took the insight and went back to the lab and asked their R&D people if they could develop some compound that set up a bit faster. And they did. And they delivered a premium product that helped the contractor be more productive because they could do more work in less time and complete their jobs more quickly. Well, that sounds like a no-brainer. But in this case, that product manager was in the right place at the right time. Because if she had arrived on the job site later, she would not have had the opportunity to have seen that, she would not have gotten the insight.
You're listening to Masters of Product Management with Stephen Haines from Sequent Learning Networks, sequentlearning.com.
Here's the deal. In most cases, customer needs are transient. They are not persistent and they are not present all the time. And what I really want to tell you is that you, as a product guy, need as many touch points as possible to have the best chance to really listen to that customer voice at the time that the voice can be heard. And here's what I mean. You can hear a voice through an action, a behavior, an expression, or anything that is communicated. It could be explicit, it could be tacit. So that's a key that I really want you to take away. But there's something else. When we talk about a customer, and I hear this all the time, and I've been spending a lot of time in the West Coast, and everybody seems to talk about users. That's like the only customer that exists. That can't be farther from the truth. There are all kinds of users, and many of us work in B2B companies, and you have a customer company that you're selling your stuff to, but there are different people in the customer company. And you have to understand who's who in each customer company, because they all have different sets of needs. And it's not the purchasing guy whose needs you really want to meet. There's somebody else who's doing something. But those companies have customers, and those customers could be other businesses or other consumers. And it's incumbent on us to know who those people are, what motivates them, and when they're motivated. Which goes back to my point earlier about you really have to have a lot of different touch points. You have to get out of the office. You have to be seeing these people, and you have to be able to observe frequently enough. And I'm going to have a side conversation right now. When I hear bosses say there's no money for travel for product managers, there's nothing that gets my dander up or the hair on the back of my neck up, because I got to tell you that that's not acceptable. We have to have the opportunity to develop those relationships with people. And then we have to build, as product people, what I call comprehensive customer profiles. This means your job is to build comprehensive customer profiles of groups or segments of customers, groupings of customers, because what you want to be able to do is sort of visualize them, lay them out, and then look for the common denominators that allow you to say, what is this subset of needs, which really are those problems or those customer motivations. So then you can get back to the office, and then you have to tell and write good stories. You use these stories in building your scenarios, your customer personas, or in characterizing the situations that allow you to share insights and construct strategies and create really great products and brands. This is the stuff of leadership. This is the stuff that suggests that product people are the linchpins for all kinds of interconnected processes. But we, as product people, have to use this customer and market focus, earn the credibility, and to lead, so that we can increase the chances of our products to be as successful as we envision. Because in my estimation, the sky is the limit. So thank you. Thank you for listening today. And I do hope you're able to internalize what I discussed and make customer visits and customer stories the focal point of your work. See you next time.
This has been Masters of Product Management with Stephen Haines, but it doesn't end there. Just visit sequentlearning.com to take advantage of free tools and resources and subscribe to the show. That way, you'll never miss an episode. It's all there at sequentlearning.com. We'll talk to you next time on Masters of Product Management. Learn, apply, and succeed. sequentlearning.com.